In a world where humanity's survival hinges on decoding an alien signal hidden deep within Earth's crust, one woman discovers that the message isn't just a warning, it's a call to action. But as she unravels its secrets, she realizes that the signal is rewriting reality itself, and she may be the only one who can stop it. What happens when the line between savior and destroyer blurs? Subscribe now to uncover the truth in Signal of Eternity. It started with a faint hum, a vibration so subtle that most dismissed it as background noise. But Dr. Iris Vallon, a geophysicist specializing in subterranean anomalies, knew better. Her instruments had detected something extraordinary emanating from deep below the Earth's surface. A rhythmic pulse, like a heartbeat, buried miles beneath the Arctic ice. "This isn't natural," Iris muttered, staring at the data scrolling across her tablet. "Whatever this is, it's intelligent." Her team, stationed at a remote research outpost, exchanged skeptical glances. They'd been sent to investigate seismic activity, not alien signals. Yet, as days passed, the evidence became undeniable. The pulse wasn't random. It followed patterns too complex to be geological. "We need to dig deeper," Iris insisted during a tense briefing. "If we don't figure out what this is, we might regret it." Colonel Rourke, the military liaison assigned to oversee the operation, frowned. "Digging through kilometers of ice isn't exactly a walk in the park. You sure this isn't just some glitch?" Iris met his gaze steadily. "I'm sure. This could change everything." The excavation process was grueling, requiring cutting-edge drills and relentless effort from the entire team. Temperatures plummeted, equipment malfunctioned, and tensions ran high. Yet, Iris remained undeterred, driven by the conviction that they were on the verge of something monumental. Finally, after weeks of labor, they reached the source of the signal. Encased in a crystalline cocoon was a spherical object roughly the size of a basketball. Its surface shimmered with iridescent hues, shifting colors as though alive. "What is that thing?" whispered Dr. Elias Kane, the team's xenobiologist, his voice filled with awe. "I don't know," Iris admitted, cautiously approaching the artifact. "But it's definitely not from Earth." As soon as she touched it, the sphere emitted a low hum, resonating with the same rhythm they detected earlier. Then, without warning, it projected a beam of light into the sky, illuminating the frozen wasteland in a cascade of golden brilliance. "What did you do?" Rourke barked, drawing his weapon instinctively. "Nothing," Iris replied, stepping back. "It reacted to me." The beam faded, leaving behind a series of glowing symbols etched into the air itself. They pulsed rhythmically, as if inviting interaction. Back at the outpost, the team worked tirelessly to decipher the symbols. Each glyph was intricate, resembling a fusion of mathematics and art. To their astonishment, the symbols began rearranging themselves whenever someone attempted to analyze them, adapting to different perspectives. "It's learning," Elias said, wide-eyed. "This isn't just communication. It's evolving." Iris nodded, her mind racing. "And it's trying to teach us something." As they studied the glyphs, strange phenomena began occurring around the outpost. Electronics malfunctioned sporadically, shadows moved independently of their sources, and team members reported vivid dreams of unfamiliar landscapes bathed in silver light. One night, while reviewing footage of the artifact, Iris noticed something peculiar. The symbols seemed to form words, not in any human language, but in a dialect eerily similar to ancient Sumerian. "This can't be coincidence," she murmured, cross-referencing the glyphs with historical texts. "Whoever created this knew about us long before we found them." The breakthrough came when Iris managed to isolate a repeating sequence within the symbols. Translated, it read, "Time fractures. Reality weakens. Act or perish." "What does that even mean?" Rourke demanded, pacing the room. "Are we supposed to fix time?" "It's a warning," Iris explained, her tone grim. "Something's destabilizing our reality, and this artifact is trying to help us prevent it." Before they could delve deeper, the outpost was struck by a sudden earthquake. The ground split open, revealing fissures glowing with the same golden light as the artifact. From the cracks emerged shadowy figures, tall, featureless silhouettes that moved with unnatural fluidity. "Get back!" Rourke shouted, firing his weapon. But the bullets passed harmlessly through the entities, which advanced steadily toward the artifact. "They're drawn to it," Elias realized, trembling. "They want it for themselves." With no other options, Iris activated the artifact once more. A wave of energy surged outward, disintegrating the entities and sealing the fissures. But the artifact's glow dimmed significantly, as if expending its power had drained it. "We can't keep doing this," Elias warned. "Every activation weakens it." Further analysis revealed that the artifact was part of a global network of similar objects, each buried in locations tied to significant geological events: volcanic eruptions, meteor impacts, tectonic shifts. These sites formed a pattern resembling constellations when mapped together. "These aren't random placements," Iris concluded. "They're anchors, designed to stabilize the planet's core, and maybe more." Rourke scoffed. "You're saying aliens built a planetary defense system? That's a stretch." "Call it what you want," Iris shot back. "But if these artifacts fail, Earth won't survive." Determined to reactivate the network, Iris proposed a plan to locate and activate the remaining artifacts. It was a risky endeavor, requiring them to travel to some of the most inhospitable regions on the planet. But there was no alternative. "If we don't act now," Iris said firmly, "we won't have a future to fight for." The team's first destination was a volcanic island in the Pacific Ocean, where seismic readings indicated the presence of another artifact. The journey was fraught with peril. Storms battered their vessel, and equipment failures tested their resolve. Yet, Iris remained steadfast, her mind focused on the mission ahead. Upon arrival, they discovered the artifact embedded in the heart of an active volcano, its glow pulsating in sync with the magma below. As Iris approached it, she felt an overwhelming sense of familiarity, as if the artifact recognized her. "This feels alive," she whispered, placing her hand on its surface. Instantly, the artifact emitted a surge of energy that resonated across the island. The ground trembled, and a holographic projection materialized above it, a map of Earth overlaid with glowing lines connecting various points. "It's showing us the network," Elias said, his voice filled with awe. "But why?" "Because it trusts us," Iris replied softly. "It's guiding us." The activation stabilized the region temporarily, halting an impending eruption. But as they prepared to leave, shadowy figures emerged once more, drawn by the artifact's energy. This time they were larger, more menacing, and seemed capable of manipulating their surroundings. "We can't keep fighting them," Rourke growled, reloading his weapon. "There has to be another way." Iris nodded grimly. "Then we'll have to outrun them and find answers faster." Word of their discoveries spread quickly, attracting both allies and adversaries. Among those who joined them was Dr. Leora Chun, a linguist specializing in ancient languages. Her expertise proved invaluable in deciphering additional messages from the artifacts, which revealed cryptic warnings about a looming cosmic event. However, not everyone shared their altruistic goals. A shadowy organization known as Black Veil emerged, intent on exploiting the artifacts for their own gain. Led by the enigmatic Victor Kane, a former scientist turned rogue, they sought to harness the artifact's power to reshape reality itself. "They see this as an opportunity," Iris explained during a tense briefing. "To them, humanity is expendable if it means achieving ultimate control." Victor confronted Iris personally during a skirmish near the third artifact site in the Sahara Desert. "You think you're saving the world?" he sneered. "You're just delaying the inevitable. Chaos will always find a way." Iris refused to back down. "Chaos isn't inevitable. Not while I'm still standing." Each artifact reactivation brought new challenges and revelations. At the fourth site, a submerged temple beneath the Indian Ocean, Iris experienced vivid visions triggered by her proximity to the artifact. She saw glimpses of a distant future where humanity had transcended its limitations, living in harmony with advanced technology and alien civilizations. These aren't just warnings, she told Elias during a rare moment of quiet. They're possibilities. The artifacts are showing us what could be, if we make the right choices. Elias hesitated. But at what cost? Every activation drains the artifacts further. What happens when they run out of energy? We'll find a way to sustain them, Iris insisted. We have to. Her determination inspired the team to press on, even as fatigue and fear threatened to overwhelm them. The fifth artifact lay hidden within the Amazon rainforest, guarded by automated defenses left behind by its creators. As the team navigated dense foliage and treacherous terrain, they encountered indigenous tribes who revered the artifact as a sacred relic. The elders call it the heart of the world, one tribal leader explained through a translator. They say it keeps the balance between life and death. Iris listened intently, realizing that the artifacts weren't merely tools. They were symbiotic entities, intertwined with the planet's ecosystems. Reactivating them wasn't just about stabilizing Earth. It was about restoring a delicate harmony. When they finally reached the artifact, it pulsed violently, responding to Iris's presence. Visions flooded her mind, of worlds destroyed by greed and ignorance, of civilizations rising and falling like waves upon a shore. "This is bigger than us," she murmured, tears streaming down her face. "Bigger than anything we've imagined." As the network stabilized, the artifacts began transmitting a unified message, a countdown to a catastrophic event known as the convergence. According to the projections, multiple realities would collide, erasing entire dimensions, including their own. "We don't have much time," Iris said grimly during a global broadcast. "If we don't stop the convergence, everything we know will cease to exist." Her words sparked panic worldwide, but also unity. Nations set aside their differences, pooling resources and knowledge to combat the impending disaster. Even former adversaries like Victor Kane offered reluctant assistance, recognizing the gravity of the situation. Yet questions lingered. Why had the artifacts chosen humanity to intervene? And what role did they truly play in the grand design of the cosmos? With time running out, Iris made a startling discovery. The artifacts weren't alien creations. They were fragments of a single entity that had sacrificed itself to preserve existence. Each fragment contained a shard of consciousness, guiding those who interacted with it toward a greater purpose. "You've been chosen," Elias said quietly after reviewing the data. "Not just to reactivate the network, but to merge with it." Iris recoiled at the thought. "Merge? You mean become part of it?" Elias nodded solemnly. "It's the only way to stabilize the convergence. But it comes at a cost. You won't survive as you are." The revelation weighed heavily on Iris, but she knew there was no other choice. Humanity's survival depended on her willingness to sacrifice everything. The final artifact was located deep within the Antarctic ice, surrounded by ancient ruins that hummed with residual energy. As Iris approached it, the air grew thick with anticipation. The artifact pulsed erratically, as if sensing her resolve. "This is it," she whispered, turning to face her team. "Whatever happens next, know that I did this for all of us." Rourke stepped forward, his expression uncharacteristically soft. "You don't have to do this alone." "Yes, I do," Iris replied firmly. "But promise me one thing. Don't let my sacrifice be in vain." With that, she placed her hands on the artifact, allowing its energy to flow into her. Visions overwhelmed her senses, of countless lives saved and lost, of galaxies born and extinguished. She understood now. The artifacts weren't just guardians. They were creators, tasked with preserving the multiverse's fragile balance. As Iris merged with the network, the artifacts synchronized, forming a web of stability that spanned dimensions. The convergence dissipated, sparing Earth and countless other worlds from annihilation. Yet, Iris was gone, her consciousness absorbed into the collective. Her sacrifice inspired a new era of cooperation and innovation. Under the guidance of Dr. Leora Chen and Colonel Rourke, humanity embraced its role as stewards of the cosmos, working alongside alien civilizations to ensure the survival of all life. Monuments were erected in Iris's honor, not as memorials to a hero, but as reminders of what could be achieved through courage, compassion, and unity. In the wake of Iris's sacrifice, Earth underwent profound changes. The synchronization of the artifacts not only stabilized the convergence but also unleashed a cascade of subtle alterations across the planet. Weather patterns normalized, ecosystems rejuvenated, and even human behavior seemed to shift toward greater empathy and cooperation. Dr. Leora Chan became a leading voice in this new era, dedicating her life to studying the artifacts' lingering influence. She discovered that their energy had imprinted on the collective consciousness of humanity, subtly guiding people toward decisions that prioritized harmony over conflict. "It's as if Iris is still with us," Leora said during a global symposium. "Her essence lives on through the network, reminding us of our interconnectedness." Yet, beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Black Veil, though weakened, remained active, seeking ways to exploit the artifact's residual energy. Their leader, Victor Kane, had gone underground, vowing revenge against those who had thwarted his plans. "He won't stop," Colonel Rourke warned during a private meeting. "Men like him always find a way." Years passed, and humanity's progress seemed unstoppable. Cities flourished under sustainable technologies, and interstellar diplomacy became the norm. Yet, whispers of unrest began to spread. Rumors of shadowy figures manipulating events from behind the scenes. Victor Kane resurfaced, more dangerous than ever. He had uncovered a hidden artifact fragment buried beneath the ruins of an ancient civilization, untethered from the global network. This fragment, he believed, held the key to reversing the convergence's stabilization and rewriting reality itself. "We were meant to evolve," Victor declared during a clandestine broadcast. "But the artifacts have chained us to mediocrity. It's time to break free." His words resonated with disenchanted factions, sparking rebellions across the globe. Governments scrambled to respond, but Victor's followers moved with precision, targeting vulnerable regions and exploiting societal fractures. Determined to prevent Victor from unraveling Iris's legacy, Leora and Rourke assembled a coalition of scientists, soldiers, and civilians united by a shared vision of peace. Among them was Dr. Elias Kane, Victor's estranged brother, who harbored guilt for failing to stop him years ago. "I know how his mind works," Elias admitted during a strategy session. "He'll go after the Arctic artifact first. It's the nexus of the network." The team raced against time, braving treacherous conditions to reach the site before Victor. What they found there chilled them to the bone. The artifact's glow had dimmed significantly, its energy destabilizing. "He's already been here," Rourke growled, surveying the damage. "If we don't act fast, the entire network could collapse." The confrontation took place at the Arctic outpost, now fortified by Victor's forces. Armed with advanced weaponry powered by the rogue artifact fragment, they overwhelmed the coalition's defenses. Casualties mounted, and hope began to wane. Amidst the chaos, Leora made a desperate decision. Using data recovered from Iris's research, she devised a plan to amplify the network's energy, forcibly severing Victor's connection to the rogue fragment. But doing so required someone to interface directly with the Arctic artifact, a task that would likely prove fatal. "I'll do it," Elias volunteered, his voice steady despite the fear in his eyes. "It's my fault he got this far. Let me make it right." Before anyone could protest, Elias activated the artifact, channeling its energy into a massive pulse that engulfed the outpost. Victor screamed in rage as the rogue fragment shattered, its power dissipating into nothingness. When the light faded, Elias was gone, leaving behind only silence. With Victor defeated and the network restored, humanity entered a golden age of exploration and innovation. Under Leora's leadership, the Global Artifact Initiative, GAI, expanded its mission, sending expeditions to study similar networks on other worlds. Each discovery deepened their understanding of the cosmos and their place within it. One such expedition, led by Captain Mira Solin, uncovered evidence that the artifact's creators had faced their own convergence millennia ago. Their survival had come at a cost, the fracturing of their species into countless alternate realities. They chose fragmentation over extinction, Mira explained during a debriefing. And now we're living proof that their gamble paid off. Inspired by these revelations, humanity embraced its role as guardians of existence, ensuring that no world would face the same fate alone. Decades later, Leora stood atop a hill overlooking New Horizon City, a sprawling metropolis built around the Arctic artifact. Monuments to Iris and Elias adorned its central plaza, drawing visitors from across the galaxy. Children played amidst holographic projections of constellations, their laughter echoing through the air. "You've done well," a familiar voice whispered behind her. Leora turned to see Iris, or rather a projection of her consciousness, preserved within the network. Though ephemeral, her presence was unmistakable. "Did we succeed?" Leora asked, tears welling in her eyes. "You did more than that," Iris replied with a gentle smile. "You gave the universe a chance to thrive. Now it's up to them to carry the torch." As the projection faded, Leora felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity's journey was far from over, but the path ahead was brighter than ever. Under Captain Mirasolin's command, humanity ventured deeper into the cosmos, forging alliances with alien civilizations and uncovering mysteries that defied comprehension. Each discovery reinforced a simple truth: existence was fragile, yet infinitely resilient. Among the explorers was Dr. Cale Armitage, Iris's great-grandniece, who dedicated her life to studying the artifact's creators. Her work revealed startling insights. The creators had foreseen their own demise, embedding fragments of their consciousness into the artifacts as a safeguard against oblivion. "They trusted us," Cale said during a lecture aboard the starship Ecliptica-. "Not because we're perfect, but because we're capable of change." As the ship sailed toward uncharted stars, its crew gazed out at the infinite expanse, filled with wonder and possibility. The artifacts had given them a gift, not just survival, but the opportunity to shape the future. "We're not just explorers," Cale concluded. "We're dreamers, and the universe is waiting. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey through mystery and survival." If you enjoyed Signal of Eternity Dash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our next adventure. Your support keeps the story alive.